Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to a very special episode of the hottest podcast in this galaxy or any other, the Guys Hiding from Their Wives podcast. I almost forgot what I was going to say there. What the hell's going on? I am your host, Big Ben. With me, as always, we've got Magic Mike. What's up, my buddy?
What's shaking, baby?
All right, well, it's official. Football season is officially done again. Super Bowl 53 was this past week. Complete shit show of a game that it was. I don't know. I
don't know. So you knew the Rams had a good defense coming in.
God, that defense was incredible.
Through the regular season, we gave them a lot of crap because teams were running for 150 yards against them, putting up 40 points against them. And for the Rams to have a defense that was on paper supposed to be one of the best ever, and then to kind of falter through the season, they showed up.
No, that defense was there.
That defense was good, and I always said this because everybody was saying, who do you got, Rams or Patriots? When you give Belichick 2 weeks,
it doesn't matter.
He comes up with a plan, and he shut down that offense. He really did. Rams were putting up a lot of points too, and it was a crazy game. I mean, defensively, I liked a lot of the stuff that was going on, and a lot of people have been saying how boring it was, how terrible it was. I don't know. It wasn't the greatest. Absolutely not by a wide margin, but I didn't mind it so bad.
See, and I guess going into it, I expected the Rams that they were going to give Brady a little harder time because that's what you got to do. You got to beat Brady, you got to put him on his back. You got to hit him, and they didn't touch him. They didn't get anywhere near him that entire game. You know, just from what it looked like for me, that game should have been 42-0 at halftime.
Yeah, they left a lot of points on the board.
God,
that first
terrible
interception by Brady.
Yeah.
And then
the missed field goal from Gostkowski.
And I know a lot of people bag on Tony Romo, but I like Tony Romo.
Dude, he knows his shit. That guy is the best announcer in the game right now.
By far.
Absolutely.
By far. When he was talking about some of the stuff, and he even said how Goff was uncomfortable, and he showed it on film.
Mm-hmm.
What the Patriots were doing. He's seen it instantaneous.
What
they were doing, and it took a while for the Rams to kind of pick that up. Mm-hmm. And I've said this too throughout the year. If you want to beat the Rams, you keep Goff in the pocket.
Yeah, because if you get him out moving, he's going to be in trouble.
He's one of them guys that's more accurate on the run and making stuff happen than he is in the pocket running the play.
Yep.
I think Goff is better on the outside, like a Russell Wilson, and that
almost like a Dak Prescott. If you put Prescott in while we're on the subject of the Cowboys,
pocket, he's not going to beat nobody.
Yeah, that's how Robert Griffin III was.
Yeah, see, so
you
Goff,
get him outside and flush him out.
I've never been big on Goff. I'm still not big on Goff, and that game kind of showed his stats were not. I mean, he was in the pocket and he couldn't complete a pass. He left a lot of open passes on the field. His receivers dropped a couple. And the Patriots made some good plays on a couple more. So it wasn't all his fault. I don't want to blame it all on him. But he did miss some wide open receivers.
Yeah. And if you can't tell, we are talking. This is all a football episode. This is a special Super Bowl episode that we're putting out, that we're coming to you guys. Before we get too much more into it, who's bringing this episode to us tonight, Mikey?
Everybody wants some. Some Pig Burgers. Home of the Super Quarter Pound Char Burger. We feature hot pastrami, chili dogs, tacos, and burritos. Come get yours today like K-12 ski legend Lane Meyer does. Everybody wants some. So get in your Camaro or your parent's station wagon and come jam like Top Jimmy and get your pig burger today. And don't forget your $2 for the Paperboy. That's awesome.
Isn't Lane Meyer, isn't that your main wiener man there, buddy?
Main wiener man.
Oh, great stuff. So, make sure to get out there. Follow us on all our social media channels. Check us out on Twitter. That's @GuysHiding. On Facebook, facebook.com/GuysHidingFromTheirWives. Check out our new Instagram page. That's 4GuysHiding, which is kind of funny because we don't usually have 4 of us anymore, but that's all right. We'll roll with it. Check out the YouTube channel. That's 4GuysHidingFromTheirWives. And email the show anytime, anywhere. That's 4GuysHiding@gmail.com. And again, that is the word 4, not the number 4. And along with that, listen to us on all formats, obviously wherever you're listening to us right now. YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher. Hey, none of that coughing shit. Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, iTunes, you name it, we're out there. So, other than that, what else is happening? Anything new on your end of the? What's your percentage on your Instant Pot now?
I'm 1 for 5.
Well, at least you got the one.
And the one I had help.
Well, that's all right. Whatever we need to get, man.
I don't know. It's not boding well. I go downtown now and I see people like, "How's your pot?" Well, and they give me shit about it all the time. And
you and your Instant Pot, you're getting pretty famous out there, buddy.
I do it for fun. It's kind of a joking matter, when people give me a hard time. I put it up there for fun and amusement, but it's true. I suck at the Instant Pot. I don't know what the problem is. I say it's defective, but the one time I had help,
could it be fine. OE? Could be a little operator error there for you.
I think it's something to do with the water. Maybe I'm not getting the right water.
Could be.
That Wellington water.
Hey, I was going to say that Wellington water is a little questionable at best,
I need to add,
isn't it?
Water skeeters to it.
There you go.
I don't know.
you get a little bit of that Flint, Michigan water in there. You're all right, huh? And wherever you're listening to us, if you're listening from the upper Midwest or anywhere out there, make sure you stay warm out there. I think we're through the worst of it, but that polar vortex or Arctic, whatever the shit you want to call it, that was just wicked. There was some nasty shit going on up there, man. I saw one place in Wisconsin had a wind chill of like negative 63.
Yeah.
Somewhere. No, thank you. I'll stick with my 20 degrees here. But
so I got a question.
Okay.
So I'm not real political. I'm not really up on current events. I don't even watch SportsCenter hardly anymore to see like trades and stuff. So I'm kind of out in left field. Having a kid kind of kicks your butt.
Oh, it ruins it, man.
For news. Anyway.
Having a job does too.
And I don't mean this in a smart-ass way, kinda, but this global warming stuff they said was coming over. Does that affect hot and cold?
It must.
Warming?
It might be just global colding. Is that even a thing? I don't know.
I remember Dennis Miller did a bit about it, and he said this global warming, the scientists have figured out that the temperature of the Earth's core temperature has went up like 1.6 degrees in the last 50,000 years or 100,000 years, whatever it was. And it's like it's went up 1 degree in 100,000 years.
Not here.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Is it really that devastating? Is a plastic bag blowing through the field going to cause global warming?
Going to make that big of a difference? I don't know.
I don't understand it. I mean, I'm kind of speaking like I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't.
Yeah, welcome to my world, man. I don't know.
Everybody talks about this global warming stuff and we need to recycle and global warming and all this stuff. It's like, what does it matter?
Yeah, 1 degree, man. Hell,
1 degree in 100,000 years.
And I guess it
might
is
even be
over
in a billion years. It was some ungodly number Miller said.
And I guess it is
billion.
Over an average. So I mean, in some places you're going to see a big. I don't know. I try to stay out of the political arena because most of the time I don't know what the hell I'm even talking about.
Yeah,
and I'm just going to sound like an idiot if I try. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious does that affect cold too? Is it going to get colder in the winter and hotter in the summer?
Fuck, I hope not. I can't handle this cold,
that's
dude.
what I mean.
I'm getting
like
old.
Record lows.
God, forget that, dude. I'm getting too old for this cold shit. Oh my God. I'm not even going to lie to you.
I just don't understand the name global warming if they're including cold temperature.
Yeah, if your cold can drop.
So it should be just the warm temperatures,
You'd
right?
think. You should. So even your coldest temperature should be going a little higher.
You would think.
Theoretically. I don't know. I
would think so.
That's for somebody smarter than me. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just curious about that. So if anybody has any insight on that, hit us up, please.
Hit us up. Definitely tell us. You guys don't know.
And not Al Gore. We don't want to hear from you.
Yeah, no, we don't like
propaganda.
Yeah, we're going to lose listeners if we start bringing him up. Speaking of that, we did pass the 1,100 follower mark on Twitter.
Wow.
This past weekend, so that was freaking cool.
Impressive.
We're in over almost 300 and something, almost 400, I think, on Facebook. So we're damn near 1,500 combined between them. So a big thank you, shout out to you guys for following us, for listening to us, for all of that.
That's impressive.
Going kind of along with your cold, Groundhog Day was this last, what the hell, Saturday? What? I don't even know what the hell today is.
February 2nd.
Whatever day that was, Saturday, I guess.
Well, today's the 5th. Okay, now don't help me. Let me see.
Don't.
So the
5th, Mike's taking his shoes off to count.
Yeah, we went to and it was the 2nd, so the 5th. That'd be. Let's see.
I guess
takeaway 1 would be the 4th. Takeaway 2 would be the 3rd.
You're getting too high numbers for me, dude.
So it looks like it would be. Let's see, Tuesday, and then takeaway 1 would be Monday. Take another. So it looks like it would have been Saturday.
Okay, but that was a lot of my head hurts now after that one. Anyway,
I've been doing math a long time.
Make a long story short, too late, I know.
I got 3 problems done in that long time. All through high school.
Groundhog Day last Saturday. Old Punxsutawney Phil came out and did not see his shadow. So if you're a believer in that sort of thing, that means that winter's almost over. We got an early spring. But if you are a winter lover, you can take a little bit of heart in the fact that he's usually wrong. Yeah. I think last year he said we were going to have a long-ass winter, too, and it started getting warm like right after that. So
I thought last winter was brutal. I don't remember.
It was 2 winters ago. 2 winters ago.
Was it? Every winter's.
We talked about I'm just getting too damn old. I can't handle it, man. I do not do well in the cold.
Froze to death one day. But talk about that Puxatawny Phil for 1 second.
Don't drive angry.
Can you believe them old bastards go out there and they dress like them 1800s?
Like the Puritans or whatever?
Oh,
yeah.
Jeez. I don't know.
But I guess if you're in a little town like Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, you got to go with what you got.
That, I guess.
I mean, if we had something cool like that here, I would imagine I'd get all hyped up for it.
We got the parades.
We got International Days. International Days is actually a pretty cool deal around here.
We have the Wellington Parade on the 24th.
Oh, yeah, Pioneer Day. Yeah. So, see, there you go. We're all right.
A couple things like that. We don't dress up in 1800s.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen some. I've seen some. Yeah. Then
guess I shouldn't throw stuff.
I guess not. I guess maybe we're okay. All right, moving on. NFL news, and this is I forgot to mention that this is take 2 of the first half of this oh my hell, I can't even talk. The first half of this episode, we tried it the other night, ran into some issues, had an emergency go down, so we're back at it. Congratulations to the 8 newest members of the NFL Hall of Fame. They were enshrined, it was announced that they were elected this last weekend. They won't be enshrined until August. Ed Reed, Ty Law, Champ Bailey, Johnny Robinson, Tony Gonzalez, Kevin, and I think I screwed this up the other day. Is it Kevin Mawai? Mawai. God damn it. Pat Bolin and Gil Brandt all were enshrined. Ed Reed of Baltimore Ravens fame. Yes. Ty Law spent a lot of time with New England. Champ Bailey, obviously a long-time Denver Bronco and Washington Redskin. We talked about Johnny Robinson the other night. Did you? Okay,
he was a Kansas City Chief.
And he was he was old school, right?
Yeah, he was one that. So get this. He actually started out back when they called it flanker. Instead they called it running back. He was a flanker back, they called it, when he was the
I remember playing with that when we had Little League football, man.
Yeah, he started out, he played 2 years as a halfback, flanker back, and then he went to safety.
Wow.
Yeah, and I guess he was bad. I guess he was a bad man on
That's
defense.
All right. Good to see it. And Tony Gonzalez, Kansas City Chief and Atlanta Falcon, spent the majority of his career with the Chiefs, and I absolutely hated watching him play because he was in our division.
That good.
But now that he's retired, I love the guy. I love, Kevin Mawai, longtime New York Jet offensive lineman. Pat Bolin, owner of the Denver Broncos. And a lot of people, throw shade on the Broncos, but you got to look at it. Under Pat Bolin, since he took over, since he bought the team, Denver has had as many Super Bowl appearances as they've had losing seasons.
Yeah, he's and like I said, I rip on the Denver Bronco fans.
Well, so do I, but that's all right.
It's fun. But Denver is one of the team that's consistently there. I mean, yeah, they'll have a couple down years here and there while they rebuild and try to find a quarterback or whatever the case may be. But
or a coach, take your pick.
They're consistently fighting for the division title.
Yep.
They're consistently fighting for the playoff spot, and they're consistently, if you look at history, they're up there with the top of the Super Bowl. They've been to what? The same as the Steelers?
They've been to 7, I want to say.
I thought it was
7. They've won 3
and
no, they've been to 8. They've been 7 under Pat Bolin.
Yeah, because they lost in 77. Then they lost them 3.
Then they lost 3 out of 4 years. Yeah, and then Elway finally won his last 2.
And then they won back to back. So that was 2 and 4. And then
they
lost
to Seattle, and then they won Super Bowl 50. Yeah.
Manning. So, 3 and 5.
Yeah, that's better than a lot of teams have, man.
Yeah, and I mean,
could be a Buffalo Bills.
And it's like the Rams. We're going to rip the Rams fans for losing and everything else. But you know what? They got there. They got a good team.
They got there. Whether through
if they can keep them or not, I don't know.
There's a lot of money on that defense. A lot of big names on that defense. We'll see.
You got to get there. And if your teams, I mean, Rams have had a long time of being down.
Oh yeah. So it was good to see that.
Happy for you.
Yeah.
But they got a good young team, and if the Rams made a 7 or 8 year run in the playoffs, like the Saints have, or
just like the Seahawks did when the Seahawks dominated that NFC West, you could very easily see the Rams do that.
Oh yeah.
Whether or not they're going to be Super Bowl contenders every year remains to be seen. But I could very easily, just for the sheer lack of talent right now that's going on in the NFC West.
Yeah, and I thought Seattle was on their way out, but their last couple games,
God, they picked it up the end of the year, man.
And that's the good thing about the salary cap. It sucks because you can't keep some of your favorite players when you get them and stuff. But the good thing about the salary cap is it makes every team where they can compete.
Yeah.
It does.
There's parity. You'll see a team have a down year, but you're not going to see, well, with the exception of Cleveland and maybe a couple other teams that shall not be named at this point, in the perennial basement of the NFL. But,
Well, and you take like baseball, for example. There's a reason why the Yankees and Red Sox are in the playoffs every year.
Money.
Exactly.
Money.
A team like the Pirates, a team like the Rangers, they have to have the talent homegrown through the draft and through the farm system for them to compete. And they do it for 1, maybe 2 years, and then the bigger teams
and then they'll split it. You look at that happen with Kansas City the year that they won the World Series. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, and then the other, Gil Brandt, we talked about, longtime executive for the Dallas Cowboys. Dude, Gil Brandt was a freaking genius. A lot of the stuff that the things that he did in Dallas, there's teams still using today.
Too.
Did he?
I didn't know time ago he did.
But a lot of the things that he did, teams are still doing today. Yeah. So he pioneered in the talent scouting and the player development and that kind of thing. So
it was great. I listened to one of the announcers that helped cover the draft, and it wasn't Mayock, but he comes out and he says, we was looking at the draft board, and there was this guy. He was like the last name on the list, and no one knew who he was, didn't know what school he went to, didn't know nothing about him. And they go, well, who's this guy? Who's this? And Gil Brandt was walking by. And he goes, who's that? And they said his name, and he goes, oh, yeah. He grew up in, like, some little town just outside of Abilene, Texas, and his mom makes the greatest apple pie you've ever had in your life. And, yeah, he's got 2 dogs named Cosmo and Larry. I mean, he knew everything about
everything there was to know about
every
this.
time. Gil Brandt, they call him the Godfather for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
That
dude
guy
was
has
amazing.
more knowledge than, wow.
Well-deserved into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he should have been there a long time ago.
And then just the only other note on the Hall of Fame there, Ed Reed, Champ Bailey, Antonio Gonzalez, this was their first year of eligibility that they were elected on. So NFL awards came out this last weekend. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Colts linebacker Darius Leonard. I don't complain. He was a stud in what was pretty much actually was a closer race than it probably should have been. Saquon Barkley won the Offensive Rookie of the Year, Giants running back, over Baker Mayfield. And I will be honest, I didn't think Mayfield was going to be able to cut it, but he proved me wrong. They got something going there in Cleveland.
They do, and there's something to be said about just that winning attitude. A lot of players come in like from Alabama, UCLA, when they're tough like that, and they're used to winning. But there's a lot to be said because a lot of teams, when you're that good, you get drafted early to a bad team.
To a bad team, to a Cleveland, to a New York Jets.
Sometimes they don't make a difference.
Yep.
But when you get a player that has that attitude that says, I'm going to win.
And it's contagious. They got some stuff happening between him and Nick Chubb over there on the offense. I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan.
No, I don't hate him one way or the other. I'm just saying he had a lot of haters coming out.
Oh, I was one of them. There was a lot of talk that he was going to end up in Denver, and I was like, no, I don't want to see it. I don't want him in Denver. But and then just the other quick awards that went out. Aaron Donald of the Rams went in as the Defensive Player of the Year. Patrick Mahomes from Kansas City was the Offensive Player of the Year, and Patrick Mahomes also did win the Associated Press MVP award.
Yeah.
Which could have gone either way. You could have given it to him. You could have given it to Breeze. I'm not going to argue with you either way. I'm not going to argue either way with it.
But in your second year to throw 50 touchdowns.
Unreal. That kid did some amazing stuff, man.
That's Marino stuff.
Again, just as a Broncos fan, I hate it. But from an objective sports fan, dude, that kid is going to be special.
Yeah, and the thing that helps him is a lot of players. Remember when Big Ben got drafted? He was sitting there in the green room and he was waiting and waiting and waiting. Well, he went to a little bit better team.
Yeah.
Mahomes was, I think it was they said the last quarterback drafted out of that class.
Out of that class, and then there was some big names that came out of that draft. They got a steal on him.
They got a good team. I
mean, buddy.
They got weapons, and that helps. Big Ben had weapons. That helps.
And I threw a lot of shade for Mahomes, and you know how much of it really was the people around him, the Tyreek Hill, the Kareem Hunt, the Sammy Watkins. I don't know. Time will tell. I honestly, personally think teams are going to figure him out. He's still going to be good. He has the potential to be great. But I think teams are going to figure him out, and that's why these guys have that sophomore slump. They come out that second year because everybody's figured out what to do with him.
And that's why I wasn't big on Garoppolo.
Yeah,
I despised him from the minute one. Everybody, Niner fans, like, we're going to the playoffs. I'm like, I don't trust him.
No, see, and here's the thing with Garoppolo. When he played and did well, where was he at? Mm-hmm. He was in New England under Bill fucking Belichick, man. I don't care who you are. I could go out there and look good under Bill Belichick.
Matt Flynn blossomed in Green Bay.
Yep.
Where they had an offensive system, quarterback-driven system, and he went everywhere else, 5 other teams, and didn't do shit. Yeah. And I'll say another thing about Mahomes. If you put another quarterback from his class, or a young quarterback, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Josh Johnson, Trubisky, if you put them in that Kansas City offense, do they do what he did? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
Just for the fact that there's a thing on YouTube of him breaking down film with Andy Reid.
And the kid's so smart.
The kid is sharp. He really is. I mean, I like to rip on the Chiefs because I kind of hate them and being a division rival and all, But I think if you put, say, Mahomes on the Giants this year, I think Giants are a force.
I think so.
The way that kid breaks down film.
They were playing in that division too, where nobody wanted to win.
Yeah, if he was on a team with a great defense and a couple weapons on offense, the Jets, for example. I'm not big on Sam Darnold right now. I think he has the potential to grow into something, but it's going to take him some growing pains. He's going to throw some dumb passes. He's going to make some mistakes, mental mistakes. And I've never seen him break down film or nothing like that, so I can't have a good, honest opinion about it. But I've seen what Mahomes can do. And if you put him, like, say, Denver, where they got a great defense, that Denver team would have rocked. And same thing with the Bears. Trubisky,
well, I don't know. I think Denver's problem was their idiot head coach, too.
Well, when we get into the quarterback talk, I got some stuff about Trubisky. Not hating, but I don't think he's all that great. So
really?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why when we get there. But in Cleveland, same thing. I think Baker Mayfield could have done what Mahomes did in Kansas City. Maybe not 50 touchdowns, but I think he had the potential to put up a lot of points with them.
I can agree with you there. I can see that. So
Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston in Kansas City, I think they're awesome quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson. And if you put Mahomes on Baltimore, where they had a good defense, I think he's really good. Maybe not 50 touchdowns good, but he's pretty good.
Well, and I think that was the problem, and it was Kansas City's Achilles heel that undid them, was their defense.
And their defense used to be so tough.
That defense used to be amazing with Justin Houston and, buddy, forget about it. Forget about it. Tamba Hali and all those.
I love Derek Johnson. I hated him when he was playing, but that guy was a beast.
Yeah,
when Raiders got him, I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, I know he's at the end of the road.
But it doesn't matter.
He's still a beast,
good.
man.
Yeah.
The only team Mahomes couldn't excel with, I think, right now, is probably Oakland because they're so dysfunctional.
Well, yeah, I'll give you that. I don't know how well he would have. There was a lot of teams that he would have struggled with, and it was because there were other issues going on. Denver, I don't think he'd have done that well in Denver, just because our coach is an idiot.
And nothing against who's your quarterback, Keenum.
Yeah,
and nothing against Keenum too bad. I thought he did good in Minnesota, but he missed a lot of passes. He just did.
Yeah.
He missed open receivers. He missed
there was that freaking game against Kansas City. He had Demaryius Thomas open on that right sideline and just overthrew him.
And Mahomes would have hit him.
Yep.
I guarantee it.
Yep.
I mean, if you put them side by side right now, I would bet Mahomes can break down film and defense better than Case Keenum.
Probably.
Just my guess.
Well, and in my Patrick Mahomes is a starting quarterback. Case Keenum's not.
Yeah.
I will tell you right now, Case Keenum is not a starting quarterback. Yep. But as you heard Mike talk about right there, we are going to go into the second half of our show. We're going to rank the quarterbacks in the NFL all the way from bottom to the top. And what's your qualifier on this, Mikey?
So I just looked at it as if the season started back tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow the season starts, and the quarterbacks that and we're going to throw a note in there about Alex Smith because he's obviously going to sit out the next season, 2019 season. He's going to sit it out. But I did put him on the list, but I'm going to cross him off, and I used Josh Johnson to take his place. Okay. But to me, it's if I'm starting a team tomorrow, and I got to start these quarterbacks in order of who I want to lead my team to the one I don't want leading my team, that's how we ranked them.
Okay, sounds good to me. I'm on board with it. And now we went 34-1, just because Baltimore has Lamar Jackson and Joe Flacco that both need to be ranked.
I think Joe Flacco's going to start somewhere next year. I don't think it's Baltimore.
No, it won't be in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson's taking over.
Yeah.
And then in Philadelphia, Carson Wentz and Nick Foles both need to be in the discussion.
Yes, I got both of them.
All right. So before we get to the break and come back with that on the other side of it, I'm going to hit you with this week's Is This Even Real? We did have on the last one that we tried to record, we had a little different one. We might bring that up a little bit later on. But this happened in Sydney, Australia, about a month ago maybe. It says an Australian man triggered an emergency police response after, and I won't tell you what it was with yet, but after a noisy exchange startled a passerby into reporting what sounded like a violent disturbance to the authorities. A neighbor was walking past a house in the west coast city of Perth on Wednesday when they heard a man repeatedly yelling, "Why don't you die?" and a toddler screaming. The neighbor then called a police emergency number, according to media reports. Multiple police units responded with lights and sirens. It says the law enforcement communication included the initial emergency call. An update 15 minutes later said police had spoken with all parties who advised that the husband had only been trying to kill a spider. Apparently he has a serious fear of spiders. Said he apologized for the inconvenience to the police. There were no injuries except to the dead spider, and no further police involvement required.
I think there's a lot of people out there that will agree with that story and say that was totally okay.
Alexander the Great. If you ask him, he would burn a house down to kill a spider.
All spiders are evil.
I hate it. So coming back on the other side of the break, we're going to do our quarterback rankings. So grab you some popcorn, grab you a hot dog, grab you a beer. Come on back with us the other side of the break. We'll be back with you in 2 and 2. Hey guys, Big Ben here. Hey, just wanted to touch base with you just on the other side of the break. We did have a little bit of issues with one of the mics, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad for you. Hang out there with us. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of the show. All right, and we're back. Had a good break going on. We played a little bit of HQ trivia. We got all the way up to question 10. Missed that, but too bad. Shout out to Money Flipping Matt Richards there. I didn't quite dig so much on his 80s look as usual, but yeah.
I still have never heard of that show.
The Teen Witch?
Yeah.
And the only reason I even remember it is I remember it was on HBO at one point in time, and I was flipping through, and my mom was like, "No, you don't need to watch that."
Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't recall that show at all. I remember Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
Well, and they brought that back. It's out on Netflix now, too.
But I've never heard of Teen Witch, so that holds us.
Jerks. Friggin' rude. That's all there is to it. All right. Well, we're back for the second half of our show, and the second half is brought to you by Sports Management International. Under the direction of up-and-coming super agent Bob Sugar, SMI has overcome a potential scandal and cemented its place among the top agencies in the world. Boasting clientele such as the overall number one pick Frank Cushman and Arizona Cardinals legend Rod Tidwell, SMI has established itself as the standard in the sports management world. SMI will show you the money.
Nice.
So that was pretty bad. I had to go with something that went along with the football since we're talking.
That works.
Since we're talking Super Bowl, if we can say Super Bowl or big game or something, whatever.
Well, it's over now, so it's not.
Yeah, it don't matter. Did you see the conspiracy theory about it that well, since the Saints' record was 13-3. That was the final score of the Super Bowl that the Rams lost was 13-3.
Yeah, how about that? I never even thought of that. Conspiracy theories. What if the Illuminati?
Hey, it wouldn't surprise me if they were involved somehow. Just saying. All right. Well, we're going through and we're ranking some of our. We're ranking the quarterbacks now. We decided you want to go top down.
I want to go
bottom up. I was going to say, because if you go top down, people lose interest about 14 or 15. So, all right. So, all right. So, what do we say? 34?
Yeah, there's something like 34.
I think so.
Well, if you have one different than the bottom, big deal, or the top, big deal.
Yeah. So, and we don't want to really get into too big of a difference. There's a couple that we're obviously going to need to talk about. And I keep in mind that I did make this list before Sunday, So there's one of them that's pretty high up on my list that I almost think I want to drop him down a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see. So just starting it off really fast, I'll give you my I'll take you up to 30. I went with number 34 just because we don't have a big sample size from him. He's still young. He's still learning. I took Josh Johnson out of Washington. Blake Bortles at 33 because who knows where the hell he's even going to play next year if he's still there. 32, Josh Rosen out of Arizona, I went with. And then I know he's a little bit lower on yours just because he's coming down to the end of it. Who knows if he's even going to be in New York next year. And that's where I put Eli Manning at 31.
Okay, so I'm with you on some of them. So my bottom one, 34, was Eli Manning.
Damn,
I think he's
straight
done.
to the cellar.
I think he's done. I think that Giants team did really well with him having lackluster games. He did put up a couple touchdowns. I mean, he put up some fantasy points, if you want to call it that, where he did have some touchdowns and some big yardage games. But they were behind all the time because he couldn't complete a pass. He threw interceptions. They just couldn't keep drives going. So I think Eli's done. He would be the last guy I pick to start my team tomorrow.
All right.
And right above him, I'm with you on Blake Bortles. I think he's done. I think he's going to spend the next couple of years as a backup.
As a backup someplace, he'll be in in a backup role in probably a mid-tier team.
Yeah, and so then 32, and it's really not that fair yet. I didn't see a lot of him, but Sam Darnold.
Really?
I think he showed a couple flashes here and there, but for all in all, I wasn't impressed with him at all.
All right. He didn't have a lot of help around him either, though.
No, that's true.
To be fair,
they had a decent defense, but they just couldn't sustain nothing. I thought he had a couple of good games, but overall, it wasn't much up on him. And then next, I have Josh Rosen out of Arizona.
Okay.
And like I said, he showed flashes as well. So, and I got to do one more.
Yeah, that was Rosen 32.
Rosen was 34, Bortles 33, Darnold 32, Rosen 31.
Okay, that's where I was at too.
Okay.
So before you continue, I'm going to actually put a little bit of a hold here in 1 second. I got to check something with our audio. Hang tight.
Okay.
All right. Well, we got that figured out. So far, so good. I just wanted to make sure that we were picking you up over there. Your wave looked a little small there. No slight there to Cameron and his tiny wave that has been talked about.
Because I was laying down and relaxing.
That could have been it. Mike's taking a nap over there. I don't know. All right. So we're up to number 30. I went with Josh Allen out of Buffalo at 30. Joe Flacco at Baltimore at 29. Because, again, he's going to be someplace, but who knows where. I took Lamar Jackson there at 28, and those two could flip-flop. I think Baltimore's gonna see a little bit of sometimes of turmoil there. 27 is a little bit low for him, but he's where he's at. Ryan Tannehill out of Miami. He could be on his way out there. And then at 26, I went with Marcus Mariota out of Tennessee just because there's some durability issues. Is he going to stay healthy, or are you going to have Mariota at 100%? That's where I went. Take us up to 26.
So I'm right there kind of with you. So I got Josh Johnson at 30 because we haven't really seen a whole lot of him. He did look okay at times, but I'm not sold on him just yet. He needs more time. 29, I got Garoppolo.
Okay.
I'm not a Garoppolo fan. I think he got a lot of fanfare out of New England, and once they got film on him, this guy was average at best. So he's at 29. I got Flacco at 28, right there, kind of where you did. And like you said, I think he's still a starting quarterback somewhere, just not going to be Baltimore. 27, I got Trubisky. And we talked about this earlier. Here's why. I think he had problems reading the defenses. He was fooled a lot of times. He got hit a lot of times. And a lot of his big games, you've seen he would be like 4 for 9 for 190 yards because he would drop it off to Cohen, and Cohen would run 75 yards for a touchdown. I think he got bailed out a lot by his quick, elusive running backs.
All right.
So Trubisky, as a in-the-pocket passer, I'm not sold on him yet. Hopefully he proves me wrong and Bears fans can rejoice, but I'm just not sold on him yet. I think he got a lot of extra play out of some help from his players.
Okay.
And then 26, I'm right there with you. I got Tannehill.
Yeah, and it's big question mark there in Miami as to what's going
There's
to be
times
happening.
he looks so amazing and so accurate, and other times he looks like he don't even know what he's doing.
Yeah, well, and he's been hurt. How many of the last 2 or 3 years? You know what I mean? You can't keep him on the field.
Yeah.
All right, moving on up. 25 is where I put Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not sold. Again, we talked about just how great he did in New England in the system. 24, I went with my boy. I'm not going to call him my boy, but for my team, I went Case Keenum out of Denver at 24. 23 is Andy Dalton. I think he's on the way out, but he's still better than probably the 10 guys there. 22 is where I went with Sam Darnold from the Jets. I think the kid's going to be something special. He showed flashes this year. It's just I think there's going to be great things going on there with new coach in place. I think if you get the right system, he'll be okay. And then 21, and again, this is probably seems a little bit low, but you can just look at who's above him. That's where I put Jameis Winston out of Tampa Bay. And it's just not that he's bad, but I mean we're getting close to about the top half of the list, and that's where he's at. In my opinion, Jameis Winston's about middle of the road.
And we didn't compare notes. We didn't compare or look at nothing. But my list is real similar to yours in a lot of ways. So 25.
Great minds think alike, right?
I got Kirk Cousins.
Really?
I do. I put him down there because there was times he started out pretty hot hitting his receivers, but there was times when he faced some defenses that could confuse and scheme. He looked totally lost.
Well, and you look at the defenses that he faced in that division. They had that Bears defense in there. The Lions defense was no slouch. Green Bay, who knew what you were ever going to get. But, playing in that division is a lot different than playing in that NFC East.
Yeah, I think he underachieved for the Vikings this year. And then 24, I got Josh Allen. I think Buffalo had nothing going on, and he still did pretty well. He got some injuries and stuff because they had no line. But I like Josh Allen. I think he's going to do well in this league. At 23, I got Prescott. Dak Prescott. Because same thing.
Okay.
He's not going to beat you. He
right,
just ain't.
Right. All right.
And he's not even that great of a game manager. 22, I got Case Keenum. Just like you said, same reasons. We talked about him earlier. And then 21, I know people are going to hate on me, but I got Carson Wentz.
See, and that's not really that.
I don't even think
he's not far from where I've got. Team. No. Well, I don't. If you can keep him healthy, I think the kid's got some amazing talent. I actually have him a little bit higher than you, not much.
See, and with Carson Wentz, he makes a great pass short. Like, if he has to go manage a game and you have to do a 15-play drive, he can do that. But when you start scheming against him, you doing exotic blitzes, and you face some of them tough defensive coordinators, he struggled.
All right. Fair point. I see where you're going with it.
Close, low-scoring games. They did score some points at some times, but they won a lot of close, low-scoring games because their defense bailed him out. Wentz is good. I don't think he's going to be a starter in this league very much longer. If next year, if they keep Foles,
they're not going to keep Foles. There was already talk they're going to franchise tag him and then trade him.
Yeah. See, and Wentz, he's good. He's not elite to me.
All right. See, I went with him a little higher. I actually did put him above Foles. At number 20, I went with Matthew Stafford. And again, Stafford's no slouch. He's just not that upper echelon. I took Nick Foles at 19. Number 18, I went Baker Mayfield. I almost wanted to put him higher, but he's going to do some great stuff there, I think. And if they can get that ship righted in Cleveland, look out. I went with Kirk Cousins at 17, and then 16 is where I put Carson Wentz. So,
okay,
I don't know.
So 20, I got Jameis Winston.
Okay.
I think he played pretty well considering all the dysfunction and benching. And
right. And you never knew who was going to be the starter in Tampa.
And he's not bad. I mean, there's times he'll make the dumbest pass in the world and you think, what was he thinking? But there's times when he's on, holy cow. He's legit. I think Winston's tough if he can keep himself out of his own way mentally. Number 19, I went with Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
I like his running. I think he throws a pretty good deep ball, but I've seen him miss a lot of throws mid-range. He's not super, super accurate yet.
I think that's probably our biggest disagreement, but we'll get there. We'll get it. Go ahead.
18, I got Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
To me, him and Deshaun Watson are the same player. You could flip-flop them. You can put them there. They're pretty much the same to me.
All right.
At 17, I got Jared Goff.
Okay, that's a big difference too. But
and like I said earlier, when he runs out of the pocket and he's scrambling, he's deadly.
He's lethal. He'll tear you up.
He's missed so many open receivers.
Get him uncomfortable, huh?
His team bailed him out a lot. I mean, the Rams put up some points, but there's been a lot of times Goff struggled in big wins. So I got Goff at 17 just because I don't trust him fully yet.
Okay.
Maybe, it's only his second year.
Right.
He can develop. Give him a couple years, he might be a stud. But as of right now, starting a team tomorrow, he's my 17th ranked quarterback. And then number 16, like you said, durability issues. I'm hoping they stay healthy, but Mariota, that kid, at the first year when he was healthy.
Oh man, Tennessee looked like they were going to be something special.
He was accurate. He was on fire. He was running good. He was throwing good. He was reading defenses. Mariota looked like the real deal this year.
Oh yeah. And then he gets hurt, and no. Moving on up at 15, that's where I put Dak Prescott. And again, is he going to go out and beat you by himself? Probably not, but maybe he might prove us wrong. I took Mitchell Trubisky at 14. I see some great things happening with that Bears team. I hope, for their sake, that blowing up the coaching staff and losing Fangio is not going to hurt him that bad. I hope that Fangio does great things in Denver, obviously.
And like I said, Trubisky has the talent. He has the team around him. It's just can he lead them when it comes down to where it's on his shoulders.
And yet, again, he's the same thing. He's only in his second year. Give the kid time. He's going to only get better. 13, still playing at a high level. I love giving the guy crap and watching him, cry and throw his temper tantrums. Phillip Rivers is where I put at 13. Russell Wilson at 12. And then Roethlisberger at 11. Ben Roethlisberger from Pittsburgh. Just because he's on the downward end of his career, I think we've only got one more year maybe of Roethlisberger, and then I think that's it.
Okay, so
that takes us up to the top 10 anyway.
Okay, good. So 15 for me, and I have Andy Dalton. And the only reason I have him that high, because I think he's on his way out too, but they changed offensive coordinators this year. Not this year. At the end of last year. And you look at his games from the end of last year to before he got hurt this year, he was number one in yards, completion percentage, and touchdowns. Over Breeze, over Brady, over everybody.
Wow.
Andy Dalton had that 8 or 9 game stretch where he was the top-rated quarterback going back to last year's 2 games and this year. Andy Dalton, that new offensive coordinator, was kicking ass. And so I gave him a little bit of love just for that reason, that he still kind of has it till he got hurt. And then at 14, I got Baker Mayfield. I think he's only going to get better. That Browns team, stuff going on, and he has that attitude. I like that attitude. That
attitude that goes a long way, especially in Cleveland.
And number 13 on the way down, and actually I'm shocked at myself for putting him this high because I think he's pretty much done. I hope not, but Derek Carr.
Really?
I think after he took that broken leg in Indianapolis before they went to the playoffs, he came back and he was still looking good. He took that broken back in Denver when he took that hit. And ever since that time, if you watch him,
he's almost afraid. He doesn't want to take the hit.
He has to get off over the middle, and he holds the ball forever.
Yeah, you can't do that in this league. You cannot do that in this league.
I'm hoping he can come back with a year off. I don't trust him right now. And if it was me and I owned the Raiders or I was coaching the Raiders the last couple games last year, I would have started McCarron and seen what you had. But they didn't do that. So now they don't know what McCarron is.
All right.
I seen what he did in Cincinnati, and he was awesome. But I think Carr might be on the way out if he can't get over the mental edge or mental hump. Okay, number 12, I got Russell Wilson.
Okay, we agreed there.
Yeah, and number 11, I think he still has a little bit left, but he's on the way out. I got Stafford.
Wow, that's a little bit high, I think, for Stafford.
I think it is kind of too, but if you had to tell me I had to start Matt Stafford or Dalton tomorrow, I'm starting Stafford.
No, I see your point.
I mean, I was just trying to.
And I think it depends on what you put around Stafford. If you give him some weapons, I think he still could be good. Yeah, the problem is in Detroit, he's not got a lot of help over there.
And it looks like they changed their offense around this year a little bit.
And he just never got into the rhythm.
He never got into it. It didn't gel. But you look at his numbers last year and the previous couple of years, the guy was throwing ungodly yards and touchdowns.
Oh, man, yeah. All right, so we're down to our top 10. I have a sneaky feeling, with a couple exceptions, our top 10 is going to be pretty close to the same. Number 10, amazing. He did win the comeback player of the year this year. Undoubtedly, well-deserved. I went with Andrew Luck out of Indianapolis. You can keep him healthy. That kid is amazing.
And See, I got him a little bit higher. We'll see him in a minute. But Andrew Luck, I think top to bottom for just pure quarterbacks is probably the top 1 or 2 names in the league.
Easily. Who was your number 10?
Number 10, I had Nick Foles.
Okay, all right. Again, a little high for me, but that's all right. Number 9, he slipped back a little bit this year. I expected a lot better things out of Atlanta. They could have been great. It didn't happen. I took Matt Ryan at number 9.
He's my exactly number 9 too. I got him right at number 9.
Number 8, you talked about him. I think he still has the talent. He's got, if he can get over that mindset of I don't want to get hurt again, and you paid this guy a shit ton of money, so he needs to be a top 10 quarterback in the league. That's where I put Derek Carr.
See, and I got Phillip Rivers at number 8.
Okay.
And I hate Rivers. He's a crybaby. He talks shit. He talks smack. I hate the guy, but he's good.
Don't forget his 817 kids.
Yeah, he needs to play for 47 more years.
Right? Can you imagine though if they could put some pieces around Rivers, San Diego, L.A. Sorry, still San Diego. Yeah, they were almost there. And they were damn close there this year.
The thing that bothers me about Rivers, and I shouldn't say bothers me, but if I was a Charger fan or a Rivers fan, the thing that would bother me, he looks good when they're blowing out teams. He can throw a football through a dime.
Oh, man.
That guy is awesome and active. But when they get in tight games and they get down to the final drive, that guy throws a pick or fumbles the ball.
He's gone. And you got to get in. You get inside Rivers' head.
Yes.
Forget about it.
He talks so much crap, but if you get in his head, he turns completely opposite.
Number 7, early in his career, this guy would have been easily a top 3 or 4 for me. He had a couple of down seasons, and even after they lost Super Bowl 50 to Denver there, he doesn't seem like he's the same the last few seasons. And I went with Cam Newton at number 7 there out of Carolina.
I got Cam Newton at number 7 as well.
I mean, the guy can still make plays with his legs. He's gotten a lot better. He's a lot more accurate than he has been. I don't know. He just almost seems like he's lost that killer instinct.
The thing I noticed about Cam Newton and the Panthers this year as a team, games they were supposed to win, he looked terrible, and they lost.
Yeah. And then you get the ones that they're going to get their asses
kicked, when they were supposed
and he
to
pulls it together.
That guy would throw for 350 and 2 touchdowns running and then 2 touchdowns passing.
Yep.
Cam looked like there was some games he looked Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, he was tough to get a finger on, but like you said, he should be a top 3 if he was on his game all the time.
If he's on his game. Yep.
So.
And again, keep in mind that I made this list before Sunday and before the absolute no-show. So at this point, I put Jared Goff at number 6. A lot of high hopes for that kid, and then he went out and laid that egg on Sunday. But,
Well, you look at some of the playoff games, he missed open receivers all through the playoffs.
Yeah, and he's young. I mean, he'll get there.
Yeah, we talked about that. He can get better. And with a team like that, you can afford to miss a couple here and there because their team is so explosive.
Yeah.
But number 6, what do you do? He just wins. It's Big Ben.
Big Ben. God.
I mean,
and he's still doing it, and I'm sure there's another guy here in a little bit that we're going to talk about still winning games at the late stages of his career.
Yeah, and to tell you how big of a factor Big Ben is for the Steelers, when Big Ben got hurt, their receivers didn't do nothing.
Yep.
Le'Veon Bell struggled.
Yep.
Antonio Brown struggled. Big Ben is the key that runs that whole team.
And I think we get one more year with Roethlisberger. I think we only see one more year with him, and then I think he's done.
I think so, too. And like I said...
And it's going to suck because he's not going to have any weapons around him because Bell's gone and now Antonio Brown's gone.
It's looking like dysfunction in Pittsburgh.
Number 5, I know you had him quite a bit lower. I am totally high on this kid. Right after he got hurt that in his rookie season, I was a little worried if he was going to be able to come back. I thought he bounced back pretty well. I've got a lot of love for this guy, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do in Houston, and that's where I put Deshaun Watson, number 5.
I have no problem with that, but like I said, right now he's a little too inconsistent for me if I start a season tomorrow. If I'm starting a franchise, he's way higher because he's going to carry you for a few years. But for 1 year...
He's electric, though, man. That kid can light it up.
I had him on my fantasy team. He was amazing.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. And he did take a few weeks to come back. He wasn't himself.
No, he wasn't. Not right out of the gate.
Good. Yeah. My number 5 at Green Bay, I got Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Because he still gets it done. He had mental issues or something this year there for a while with the coach and the offensive coordinator and he said, she said in the locker room. Aaron Rodgers still can go out there and ball.
Yeah. And again, if you can keep him healthy, keep him upright, and for that reason, I put Aaron Rodgers at number 4. because he's still one of the best in the league. But, I would love to have him on my team tomorrow. Start on my team.
Yeah, and my number 4, I went with one of your guys you said a little while ago. One of the best pure pocket quarterbacks, Andrew Luck.
Yep, good call. So I think our top 3 are the same. It's just going to be a matter of what order we're looking at. And the only reason I went with him at numbers, you could put any one of these 3 in any order.
And it wouldn't be
I went with number 3 just because he didn't win the Super Bowl. He didn't have 50 touchdowns this year. Could have been the MVP. I wouldn't have complained even a little bit. I took Drew Brees at New Orleans with number 3.
I got Patrick Mahomes at number 3.
Okay, all right.
Just because of the fact he is young, and what happens next year.
Yeah,
and they get,
that's going to be the only question.
That's why I went with Mahomes number 3, just because of his youth.
Right, and the question you said was if you want him to start on your team tomorrow, you know what? He's proven that he can go out and win and that he can beat some of these teams in the NFL. I went with Patrick Mahomes at number 2.
And I went with Drew Brees at number 2.
All right, so we were right close.
There. Yeah, right there.
And then the obvious consensus at number 1, and we got to hurry up and get this out because as soon as I finish this list and I finish singing his praises, I need to go throw up in the bathroom, and I'm going to hang myself with this microphone cord. Really, can you argue the fact that Tom Brady is who you want? I mean, even at 41 fucking years old, the guy still can go out there, can do what he does. I absolutely hate it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing him win. I want him to retire and go off into the sunset. But come on, man. He is Tom Brady.
And I was always a big Montana fan. I always said Montana was better. But I got to change my mind. I got to go with
that drive in the AFC Championship game against Kansas City, and then when he took him down there Sunday, he's just amazing, and I hate it, and I want to throw up from saying it, but God,
but Tom Brady is nuts. The man. And what was great is they asked him in the pre-show or the pre-game show for the Super Bowl, you can retire if you win this one, right? Go out on top. And he said, absolutely right.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and he said, yeah. He wants to play for 4 or 5 more years. He said he wants to go until he's 45.
Okay, so let's have this discussion about Tom Brady playing until he's 45. You ever have that kid that would come over to your house when you were in elementary school, whatever, that was always the absolute best at video games? Whatever video game it was you played, this kid came over, and it stopped being fun every time he would show up to play because he was always the best and he'd always kick your ass. There was always that kid at Mario Kart that was so damn good at Mario Kart that he would come and just kill everybody. That's fucking Tom Brady to me. It's ruining the NFL. I hate it because he's always going to be there. If you're a team in the AFC East, you can kiss your hopes of a division title for the next 4 years goodbye as long as Tom Brady's still playing. It drives me nuts.
The thing with Brady, too, as well, is in that Super Bowl, he did look like he was ready to retire. He did look pedestrian.
He didn't have a great game.
He didn't have a good game at all. Not even by his standards.
No.
I mean, it wasn't a good game. But look at the defenses. We knew it was going to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
If the defenses played to their potential, we knew both quarterbacks were going to struggle. Because Belichick was going to game plan against Goff and take away their best weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And they did.
And that it did.
And you knew the Rams, Wade Phillips, say what you want about the Humpty Dumpty looking guy.
I love Wade Phillips. I wish Denver had never let him go. I'll tell you that right now.
That guy is not a head coach by any stretch of imagination. But that guy can put a defense together like no other. And what they did against Tom Brady in that Super Bowl.
What he did against Tom Brady how many years when he was in Denver?
That coordinator and that defense, they did everything right.
Yep.
The offense let them down.
Yep. They needed the offense to make probably 2 plays to step it up, and it didn't get done. And New England made the plays. For
Tom Brady to make the plays he did with everything going on was amazing.
Yep. He's Tom Brady. That's all you can say, and I hate it. And God.
Yeah, and I mean, if I start a team tomorrow, he's my guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And me saying that he's ruining the game is strictly tongue-in-cheek, but God, man, like I said, it's just like that kid that comes over and is so good at Mario Kart, and he beats everybody's ass. It's not fun. It's not fun to play anymore.
When you practice, like say it's a baseball game, you practice that baseball game, and you get good, and you're destroying everybody 24-0, 24-2, and then he comes over and waxes your ass 24-2, and you're like, oh, man. I better go back to practice.
Yep. And you'd like to think that he makes everybody else in the league better, but does he really? I don't know. I mean, there's still those one or two teams there, but
the AFC East in their division, the Jets, Dolphins, they needed in Bills. They need to take what the Wade Phillips did in this game.
Yes.
And they need to
take
draft accordingly, and they need to scheme accordingly. Your number one job is to win the division.
Yeah. And it's been how many years in a row that New England's won that division?
Other people talk about, we're going to the Super Bowl to do this. You know what? Win your division first.
Yeah.
Win Tom Brady.
If you're not going to beat Tom Brady, you're not going to do shit.
Yeah. You cannot beat Tom Brady twice in a season and the division. You're not winning the Super Bowl. Yep. You just ain't. You got to baby steps, man.
Baby steps. So, all right. So now that we got that out of the way, really quick, I'm going to put you on the spot. We didn't talk about this, so I didn't give you a heads up on this. Give me your way too early predictions for 2019, 2020. Who wins the AFC Championship, who wins the NFC Championship, and who wins Super Bowl 54?
I haven't seen the free agent list, so it's kind of hard to go off of that. But I would say right now it's hard to pick against Kansas City.
Okay.
They're just motoring. And Andy Reid's got another year. Mahomes has another year. If he can bring in someone to help or draft someone even just to help that defense a little bit.
Well, and they did fire Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator, so they do have a new defensive mind coming in.
If they can get someone that's decent, I would give Wade Phillips anything he wants.
Dude. If Stan Kroenke's smart, he's not letting Wade Phillips out of his sight until he retires.
Never. But, I think Kansas City's the...
Do you hear that, Pat Bowlen? Do you hear that, Joe Ellis? Do you hear that, Joe Elway? Why the fuck did you let him leave? Yeah, that's a quarter.
Yeah, I AFC, it's definitely the Chiefs for me. And NFC, I think Dallas overachieved this year. I picked them to win the East. I picked them to go to the playoffs. But games, they look lackluster. I think Philly's still on the way down. I don't think Wentz is going to lead them. I think Foles is better. Seattle came on like gangbusters.
They were playing good. And they were playing hot at the end of that year.
And Saints are there every year. Saints are just there in the playoffs every year. Gun to my head, had to pick one right now. I'm thinking we're going for the Super Bowl that people wanted this year, Saints and Chiefs.
Okay, all right. I don't hate that. I'm going to agree with you halfway. I do think the Saints come back. Drew Brees has that chip on his shoulder, and he's ready. I think Drew Brees gets one more push at it. I'm going to take the Saints out of the NFC. And if he doesn't get hurt, and if he's still got Bill Belichick, I can't pick against Tom Brady in New England. It really is. So that's what I'm going to go. I'm going to go Patriots and Saints. And then hopefully, if he wins that one, he retires. Jesus. God. All right. Well, it's that time. We're about ready to wrap this up. And there comes that time when you just want to tell somebody to eat a dick. I've got quite a few of them. I could go all day long. You got somebody you want to tell to eat a dick?
Well, you were there when I had my little tirade, but the manager was so nice and just so kind. And,
I forgot we haven't talked since then.
I can't tell him to do it because she was so cool and so nice. And
Melody is a sweetheart. Big shout out to you, Melody at KFC.
I felt so bad. She was the coolest girl ever in the history of the world working fast food. But I got the wrong order, and I went in there, and I just want my money back. And she did everything she possibly could to accommodate me, help me out, and I just wasn't having it.
Yeah. No, you were.
Couldn't.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. But, it's like I said, nothing against her. I just couldn't do it, but she was so nice and so cool. So thank you so much for that. So I'm not going to say nothing.
All right. Well, I'm just going to throw a couple out here. Winter, you can eat a dick. Oh. I am done with it. I'm over it. I'm ready for spring. Okay, so I'm walking down street here in Price the other day making deliveries. Okay, there is nobody else on this street in 3 blocks because I can see 3 blocks. There's me and one other guy. He comes walking down the same side of the street to me, and just as he gets right next to me, he takes a whiff off of one of those fucking stupid douche flute vape pens and blows it right at me. It's like, you motherfucker, you couldn't wait 2 more steps to inhale, and I get it. You're just, you eat a dick. If I knew your name, I would come to your house and tell you to eat a dick. And then my last one, this hit me on a personal level, and I know there's a lot of people out there, a lot of people on the internet have had a field day with this. The halftime show, there was a lot of talk. There was a petition that went around for them to do Sweet Victory from the greatest SpongeBob episode ever at the halftime show. There was talk that the guy that voiced Squidward was going to be a part of it. It was going to happen. There was so much hype built. It was going to happen. They came out. Squidward did the intro. They gave us the intro, the very beginning of Sweet Victory, and then that fucking bullshit that they pulled. So Maroon 5, Travis Scott, everybody involved with that halftime show, you eat a dick because, no, that's worse than if you'd have done nothing at all, SpongeBob.
Okay, I didn't watch the halftime show. So
Good.
I don't know. I heard
Sucked.
Adam Levine was hot, according to
I
Facebook.
don't care. Screw Adam
like
Levine.
that.
He can eat a dick.
But halftime shows are always lame.
Anymore, they have been.
Because
They've
they
been
have to fit in
complete
like
shit.
8 stars
Yep.
and do their little karaoke song or whatever. Or,
Yep.
How about they do this? How about they bring out Wild Stallions?
Yes.
How about they bring out Boats and Hope?
I'm down.
Bring out something that's like a parody, like funny, like entertaining. No one wants to see.
You can go to a concert. That was a $7,000 Maroon 5 concert. Is all that was, and a punning competition.
See, and like I said, I didn't really watch it. I was walking by when I was doing laundry because some of us have to do that kind of stuff. Some of us can't afford.
Laundry can eat a dick too.
I can't afford
Overrated.
Help yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's always kind of lame, and everybody bitches about it. Everybody complains about it. Do something like that.
Yeah. But best of all, don't tease that you're going to do something that everybody wants and then fuck us over.
Do a reunion with like the Monkees.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hell yeah.
You can't,
obviously
now,
Davy Jones can't
but
be there.
you can't do
If Davy
now,
Jones shows up to halftime show, I'm out.
Oh, yeah. If you brought back like an 80s, it doesn't matter.
They don't have to be a big one.
No, just
bring back
Spinal Tap.
Yeah, there you go.
Spinal Tap would kick ass.
Do a Twisted Sister reunion for halftime or something.
Something that's entertaining that people don't mind seeing.
Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe that's what we need to talk about for the next episode. We need to talk about halftime shows we want to see.
We will do.
There you go. Maybe
Tap would be up there.
Even if it's a reunion.
Wild Stallions.
There you go.
Even if they can't play, just get up there and do it.
Just to do it. Wow! Ted Theodore Logan and Bill S. Preston Esquire. That's what I want to see for halftime. All right. Well, be sure to tune in with us. This is a special one. This is going to come out. I hope to get it up tomorrow morning. That'll be Wednesday. If not, look for that probably Thursday. And then hopefully look for the new regular episode this weekend. So big thank you to you, Mikey, for coming on with me. I know you've been wanting to do this quarterback rankings one for quite a while. We've been talking about it all football season. And then here we finally get it in as soon as the Super Bowl's over. So
yeah.
But, and big thank you to everybody who's come out, all 1,500 followers and likes of you guys. Make sure to get us out there. Follow us on those social media channels. Listen to us on all formats. Share it, rate it, like it up. More importantly than all that, tune in next week. We'll be right back here with you. Peace.